Alright guys, it's me again. So, all three of my uploads prior to this one today have all been flagged by YouTube for, profanity, even though I didn't swear in any of them. So I have to appeal, and that process can take up to a week. I think it's been around a day at the moment to have those, because a human then takes a look at it, realizes they've made a mistake, and then monetizes the video. It's not limited anymore. It's a ball ache. I win all the appeals, but this is why supporting my channel is important to me, because all three of those videos are live now. I've left them live, but there's no, they can't earn revenue or anything like that. And listen, whether you believe me or not, that's not why I'm here. I've been online with KopTalk for 25 years. My videos are just an extension of that, like a side thing, because I like talking to you guys. And I'm sure if you were me and you had the option of monetizing a video to not monetize, you're going to monetize it if YouTube are going to, give you some, advertising revenue. It's minimal. It's not a lot. I don't have hundreds of thousands of subscribers or anything. But I've left the videos on. I do lose revenue for doing that, but I know that you guys will support me, by becoming members or whatever. You know how it works. It just annoys me. It just annoys me because I'm enjoying making the videos and I'm really trying my hardest not to swear, which you can swear, but you've got to self-certify your videos correctly, and I am doing. But YouTube doesn't like me at the moment. It's nothing new. They told me it happens because I wrongly identified 4 videos in the last 90 days. So until that period has passed, I'm going to have this problem, So if there is a thanks button under the video, please do use it, or do consider supporting the channel if you're in a position to do so. And then I don't have to worry about whether they're monetizing my videos or not. But I just want to be clear one more time, all right? I'm not here for that. If I was to do something else other than YouTube right now, I'm sure I could make a few bob online. This is, KopTalk's been my baby for a long time. And at the end of the day, I don't see why YouTube, should benefit from people producing videos, but not the creator, if that makes sense. So it's a principle thing for me. I hope I've explained it. Anyway, so we, yeah, YouTube, you need to read that. All right, hooray. We spoke a bit today about James Pearce, and was there an article about Liverpool not having any interest, in potential buyers, the takeover. And then there was a reference to COVID. And it was, I woke up to those suggestions this morning and I was just told, it's on The Athletic. So I initially thought, well, I wonder if it's James Pearce saying that, And if you've watched the videos in order, which if you're watching this one first, you should make sure you start at the first video today. As we've gone through, it wasn't James Pearce. It was actually Matt Slater at The Athletic. So that's why the previous video is titled What James Pearce Wrote Today, or whatever it's called, and this one will be What He Didn't. So, all good stuff. So this article on The Athletic today, are you alright? There's no sausages in there. You know how I know there's no sausages there? Because I've eaten them already. He's wagging his tail. How could you be mean to a little animal? He was abandoned in a bin, was our Remy. I nearly called him Rodders. That was my old dog. He used to be on KopTalk TV all the time. He's lovely. He was abandoned in a street bin when he was a puppy. And I saw them put an appeal out for someone to give him a home. Because I'm nice like that, aren't I? But I've eaten all the sausages. Sorry. Right. And I'm still unwell, sorry. Bellingham future, Man United and Liverpool's takeovers, Charlton's £10 million buyout by Matt Slater at the Athletic, February the 6th. I don't like this time of year. February 7th tomorrow is my mum's anniversary. 11 years, man. That's why I don't like this time of year. When I start to see that date, it's getting closer. So I don't know how I'll be tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. Matt Slater, the Athletics Football News and Investigations reporter, takes over the Monday column this week. David Ornstein is away. Oh, hello, what's going on here? Real Madrid have long identified England international Jude Bellingham, 19, as a priority signing. However, at the Santiago Bernabeu, or Bernabeu, however you want to pronounce it, the Premier League is considered the Borussia Dortmund midfielder's most likely destination, reports Mario Cortegana. In Espanol, Mario Cortegana. See? Yeah. The Spanish club have been working on the deal for months, okay? And they're saying that their chief scout, Juni Calafat, I like that name. I'm glad I don't have fat in my surname, because that'd open me up for even more ridicule. He's taking care of relations with the player, Bellingham, and his family, which of course is Bellingham's father, Mark, who is his, he manages his career. I like that, don't you? When dads look at it, and mums, when they look after the kids' career and that, if they've got that experience. I mean, like, I think if I was in that position, I would certainly want, someone with experience and knowledge about it all, an agent. But I can assure you, every one of those meetings, I'd be there sat alongside my son, or the agent, should I say, saying, right, what's going on? Liverpool and Man City are pushing hard, and Real Madrid are becoming resigned to the fact that the financial muscle of the Premier League is almost unbeatable. And it goes on to talk about what Chelsea have spent and so on, and how much La Liga clubs spent, collectively apparently 25 million in January, less than what 10 of the Premier League's 20 clubs spent. Real Madrid will continue to pursue Bellingham, blah, blah, blah. And then, I don't know what... That isn't actually the bit of the article that I wanted to read to you. I wanted to speak to you what he's saying about Liverpool, but the Bellingham stuff's relevant, and I'm sure you guys would like, to know what these people are claiming regards Bellingham. So should Liverpool and Man United take down the for sale signs? And he says, if we were to compare Fenway Sports Group's attempt to sell Liverpool to the sale of a house, it might be time to try a different estate agent, because 3 months in and no firm bids, not much buzz. And we mentioned that in a previous video. The team's dire form is not helping, but the real issues are out of FSG's hands. On a macro level, the global economy is struggling to shake off the twin effects of COVID-19 and the war in Ukraine. Well, I don't see... no, I'm not going to go down that route. I'm not having that. We know that COVID-19, and we know that the war in Ukraine has affected us, financially and stuff like that. There's a bottle of vodka in that fridge over there, right, that I'll be using on Saturday night on this stream, and it was $5.90 before Putin kicked off, and it's now €7. You know what I'm saying? So there are definitely, major issues out there concerning that. But I'm not having this. I'm not having this, man. These people that have got the kind of money to buy Liverpool Football Club and Manchester United, these people are the wealthiest people in the world. So they once had 38 billion, but now they've only got 36 billion. Just shut up talking about COVID. The Ukraine, I nearly swore. Gee, man. And money is more expensive than it has been for years, as interest rates went up again on both sides of the Atlantic last week. Yeah, but that's not, don't really, I mean, like, yeah, business, all right, okay, it affects every level financially, I get it. But it's us peasants at the bottom of the tree that get affected more by stuff like that. These lot, these billionaires, they've had millions wiped off because of this and the stock market. Yeah, but they're still minting beyond all belief money that we can only dream of. Stop claiming poverty! Stop it! Yes, I agree. There's no such thing. I don't know, I'll find you something. You get your bone in there, or go and lick your bottom like you were doing before. Entertain yourself for a minute. Get in there, yeah, go on. Yeah. He's wagging his tail, mate. It's because I'm shouting and stuff, and he's like wagging his tail. Going, "You all right, Dad? I'm all right. Give me a minute." Right, that was the macro level. On the macro level. Why can't these people just talk normal? Why do they always have to try and use fancy words? Did you ever see that video of Bill Shankly talking about how people, these maybe wealthy people or people that think they're better than you and I try and use these big words to confuse people? Can anyone find that clip for me, please? Because Shankly even gives an example of what someone might use, it's complicated in words, and he says, "But I would say, oh, it's Shankly, man, it's mint. It's mint. On the micro level, you have the fact that 2 weeks after the FSG announcement, the Glazer family put that lot up the road on the market too by saying they would listen to bids for some or all of Manchester United. That casts some shade over Liverpool's prospectus. Yeah, it definitely affects things, yeah. Not that the Glazers are doing much better. They do have one bidder in the shape of Sir Jim Ratcliffe. But a 70-year-old Brit did not become a petrochemicals billionaire by overpaying for anything. And he will not get involved in a bidding war if there is nobody to bid against. Both sets of owners decided to test the market after watching a lively auction that took place with Chelsea last year. As everyone knows, that process ended up with Todd Bowley, how do you pronounce his name? And his partners, Clearlake Capital, paying $2.5 billion for a London club. What a steal. $2.5 billion. Do you know what, guys? I'd be happy with £2.50 falling into my pocket right now. Get me a coffee, wouldn't it? Yeah, £2. Would you appreciate? I don't know. £2.50 is that like? I mean, I can't retire on £2.50, but £2.50 I get a coffee. Yeah. I don't even know how much a newspaper costs these days because I get them all digitally and that. You know what I'm saying? I just when you read about money in football, it just makes me think about your own life and stuff like that, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like just the way that I don't know. Someone made a comment. Did someone make a comment on here, or was it on the live stream the other night, saying something about Mo Salah's? I'm sure it was Mo Salah. What he earned today, or something, or maybe this week, or I can't remember. It must have been this week. I don't know. He made a reference to a Liverpool player. I think it basically not playing great. It might have been Mo Salah. I don't know. And he said what he's earned in that very small amount of time it's more than my house is worth, or something like that. Crazy. I mean, I don't. There's too much money in football. Anyway, right. Let's have a look. So that price tag, 2.5 billion, made the sports industry sit up and wonder if the Premier League's biggest clubs are now being valued in the same way as National Football League franchises. I hate that word, which go for 10 times annual revenues. But the Chelsea price tag is now looking a little lumpy, particularly in the more cash-strapped times of 2023. Cash-strapped time! Stop it! Oh my God, did you see how much money was spent in the January cash-strapped time? Stop it! Oh my God! Stop it! It's because of COVID and Ukraine with skin. Everyone's skin. Stop it, man. Listen. Right, my vodka's gone up a little bit, right? My mate Steve, right? I see him every Friday. He's a Liverpool fan. He's salt of the earth, Steve. He's retired, and he don't have much in life. I don't think he wants much. He wants a drink, and that's it. Don't you want a woman? He's like, I don't want a woman. No, thank you. He's a lot older than me. He's 70, he's Steve. And he's mint. I love him to bits. And he says to me the other week, he says, have you seen Price of Bread Buns? No, that's why I've got a woman, Steve, to go and get them things. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just joking, you know what I mean? It's plural, women. Is it? I don't know. I've got to be careful, because I mentioned this the other day, someone on here the other day, about female relations and connections, and someone was watching my video that shouldn't be watching my video and messaged me and went, oh, yeah, I've seen that video. I was like, oh, walls have ears, you know what I'm saying? But that's what I said to him. Maybe I did have a woman then, I don't know, it might have been a good day. And I said to him, I said, well, that's why I need a woman, mate. That's a better way of saying it. Because I'm not being sexist, but I mean, like, she can go and get the bread buns, I'll work. Oh, you're not allowed to say them things, are you? I don't mean that. She can work, I'll go and do the shopping. I'd rather do that, to be honest with you. Any day of the week. How did we get onto bread buns? Right, so bread buns, right? He says to me, I'm trying to be funny in my videos, and he said, and I know I'm failing, and he said to me, seen them bread buns? He went, no. He went, well, 25p, before COVID, and I went, yeah. He went, 40p now. Well, cents, 25 cents. He went, there, 40 cents now. I went, but how many do you usually get? He goes, well, get one on a Saturday or something, you know, if having me chips or something. I went, right. He went, well, I'm not paying that. So what do you mean? He says, I'm not paying 40 cents. 15 cents more expensive, isn't it? Says Takeover. So proof it. I'm sat looking at him over it, you know, I'm watching him spend a fortune on his beer and that, and he's like, I'm not paying an extra 15 cents for a Redbird. So COVID has affected us, no doubt about it. But I tell you what, that fridge, it won't surprise you, right? But the same amount of food in that fridge as there was prior to COVID, it costs more, and that's it. What can you do? But don't tell me that it's cash-strapped times of 2023 for the big, you know, industry and football clubs. What a load of nonsense! What a load of nonsense! Cash-strapped is people that are suffering because of inflation and can't afford to put the electric on. The heating, I mean, is what I mean, and the electric. Who's this plank? Anyway, in the more cash-strapped times of 2023. Should Liverpool and Manchester United take down the for sale signs then? No, not just yet. The Qataris are looking for a minority stake in a Premier League power, and it will most likely mirror the 10 to 15% stake they are looking to sell in the current star of their football portfolio, Paris Saint-Germain, PSG. Various funds are eyeing that opening. Yeah, we read this earlier, didn't we? And some of the losers in the Chelsea process are interested in buying stakes in either Liverpool or United, with Palace co-owners Josh Harris and David Blitzer at the front of that particular queue. No. There has been speculation about bids from Saudi Arabia, but they have not gone beyond that, suggesting separation from the Saudi sovereign wealth fund that bought Newcastle United in 2021 might be beyond even the finest legal minds money can buy. Well, they can't, because there's no money because everyone's skeet because of COVID. And it's been reported that FSG may be able to persuade Redbird Capital Partners to almost triple its investment in the transatlantic sports empire from 11% to 30%. A move that could realise an additional $1 billion for Liverpool, a good chunk of which would almost certainly be invested in the business. He doesn't know that, right? And do you trust FSG if someone bought more into their entire organisation, which frees up more capital for them? Do you really think that they're going to go, right, we're going to spend that on Liverpool now? They're still going to try and do everything like a pound shop, guys. You know that. And it's a short-term fix. It's a short-term fix. And, you know, I can look at... I'll try and draw an example of a friend of mine, you know, has been struggling financially. And it's in my natural instinct, and I'm sure it is yours, to help your friends when you can. And, you know, I think to myself sometimes, I think, should I just, you know, bung him a bit? You know, I'm not talking huge amounts of money here, right? At the moment, I would rather not have to shell out money like that because there isn't a lot flying around. If those of you that follow KopTalk know that February is the worst month of the year for me, revenue-wise. It's a very, very difficult month, and especially since the arrival of social media. But that's a long story. But February is a bad month for me, you know, and I'm not even joking about that. The summer can be, you know, more rewarding because you've got more transfer speculation, more people visiting, and maybe more upbeat and things like that. February for me is like, oh, terrible. Anyway, cash strapped. There you go, cash strapped. But you know, like, so I think to myself, well, I could lend him some money, but I won't even lend because he's a really good friend. I wouldn't say I'll lend you it. I'd say just take it or whatever. It's money that I can't afford to be doing. But if I thought or knew that it would get my friend out of the SHIT, I would give that money today, even if it meant taking it on a credit card or you know, just giving money that I can't afford, and then maybe struggling for a few weeks or months myself. If I could get my mate out of that situation he's in, mark my words, I would give it to him, right? But he's doing better now. He's all right. So he's not at that stage anymore. But the point is, at the time, I remember thinking to myself, does that really help him? You know, because if you give money to someone or something on the short term because they're having some problems, then surely the following month or two later, they're back in the same situation again, if something doesn't change in that environment, right? So I'm thinking of my friend, and he can't pay his rent, for example, say, right? Let's just argue that his rent's £500, dollars, euros, whatever. And he said, I can't pay my rent, what am I going to do? And I go, well, it is 500, I pay your rent. Oh, nice, cheers, mate. Oh, yeah, I'll sort you out, when I'm back on my feet. Right? I know all that, right? But what happens the month after when he goes, I can't, still like, because unless you change the environment, the circumstances, and it's not criticising my friend in any way, shape or form, it's like, I'm sat there thinking to myself, how can I help him? It's not just short term, I can't even, set him up with something, buy a van and start being a courier or a man with van or anything, there has to be a change in the circumstances. And if FSG, do you want to go outside, son? Go on then. Is it because I'm ranting? Go on then. If FSG taking minor investment, into Liverpool Football Club, or did this deal with Redbird, which gave them more capital, and they deal with this squad rebuild that we keep being told about, which I think is, it's just fanciful thinking. I can imagine there being some business somewhere on the line, but I don't believe FSG would just suddenly change their policies and go, all this money now, spend it on that. I don't believe that. So I would be very cautious when you see journalists saying, yeah, there's definitely going to be a squad rebuild or whatever. Anyway, so the point I'm trying to make is that's a short-term thing. So even if you said, right, FSG, they're going to sell this part of the club or a part of FSG, and they're going to have all this cash and they're going to rebuild. Well, in 5 years' time, maybe, it might buy them more time. It doesn't solve the problem, because then you need another rebuild at some point in the future. There has to be. This is the problem with FSG, if you think about it. The problem with FSG is, and this is why Manchester City have succeeded under Pep, for example, is they're continually investing. So Manchester City win the league, or they win a European Cup, and the next day they announce a signing. This player's coming in. It's like, wow, you aren't even got over the hangover from winning the cup yesterday, and already they're like, no, business as usual. Continuous investing. There's a great interview from Rio Ferdinand and Pep Guardiola where he talks about this. Manchester United under Sir Alex Ferguson, he said he didn't, just, how did he win all those things? He didn't just have the same team all the time like we have. So we don't need, FSG don't need to invest 400, 500 million all the time. You just got to have a steady investment process. And Steve Bebbington, he's just put, it doesn't matter what he's done, but he's just reported me. Hey, Steve, cheers, brother. He's great. I like it. I need to message Steve. He always steps up and supports me. Sorry, Steve, but yeah, I just wanted to give you a shout out. Oh, God, what was I saying? So Sir Alex, he was basically saying Sir Alex, he didn't win all those titles and things with the same team. Liverpool, it's the same thing. Liverpool need to find the money to have this little bit of extra business each year. Wait, I'm watching you. Get down. You can't just. We're not saying go out and buy 100 million players all the time, 100 million pound players. Sorry, all the time. We're saying, where are those 25 million pound players that we know the boss has tried to sign before and the money's not been there? Look at the transfer deadline, the transfer window. Was it last year? Towards the end, it was like, unless we get rid of, was it Shaqiri, Andarigi, or Shaqiri, or whatever, I can't remember off the top of my head. Wait, get out. They had to go first before they could do the business. And that is, could you see Manchester City operating like that? No. You just can't. And this is the problem, going back to, my friend thing, well, here you go, I'll give you that money now, and he says, cheers, nice one, done. It's bought in 4 weeks. So, when you look at FSG, maybe they do that, they reinvest in his squad, as Rafa would say, and it gives them 4 years. Yeah, then what? We're back in the same situation again. So the mentality's got to change, Now, the mentality of your friend, maybe he can't change anything, that's his life, and maybe he's got to get another job or re-educate or something, which sounds very patronising. I'm not having a go at my friend in the slightest. I'm just saying that on a personal level versus business level, our lives are different, aren't they? It's very easy for people to say, well, you need to change your life. Yeah, all right, yeah, thanks for that, yeah. While I'm training to be something else, how am I going to pay my bills in the meantime? It's difficult, for ordinary people. But these big multi-billionaires, they need to change their policies and stuff, because a minor investment of Liverpool Football Club, right, whether it's HSBE, whatever, or Redbird increasing their holdings in FSG, not the club. Any of those scenarios are not what we want to see, because any of those partners coming in or increasing their stake, they're not going to invest any more money. They're not going to then say the next year, oh, we're going to fund this. Whereas if someone buys the club, they're going to hopefully, if the right people come in, they're going to make sure that the money's there. So I got to get this. I really think this is a DKB with this one. I don't know as best, right? And if I'm wrong, please do tell me. But I only see these solutions as short term. So Redbird, all right, there's $1 billion. We've got more of FSG now. Fenway Sports Group, we've increased our stake. If FSG then reinvest that money in the squad, which they're not, in my opinion, I don't think they would. Maybe some of it, what happens in the future if you've still got the same mentality? I'm right, aren't I, guys? I'm right. I know I'm right, yeah? I'm right, because I keep saying this to myself all the time. Their mentality's got to change. That's why they've got to go. Because we'll find ourselves in the same situation 5 years, 8 years down the line or something. And before you say, well, that's a long time off. Guys, it isn't. Look how fast time's going by. Really. And who's to say, right? Let's say 400 million is made available to the manager and he brings in 3 or 4 players, or maybe more, I don't know, right? Who's to say them signings are going to work out? We've spent money on players before and it's not worked. So it's like, all right, we're going to give you this money for the rebuild, but it better work. Because if it doesn't, there's no more money, because we can't sell a bit more. We can't sell a bit more. It's like people with me with the website over the years. Like, people have tried to buy the website over the years off me, right? Back in the day, especially. And when I say I want help, support, KopTalk is a one-man gig, right? It's a one-man gig. I do everything, right? So absolutely everything. I do have a little bit of help, right? No one, including myself, is paid anything at KopTalk, right? Nobody. So if you email support, no one's being paid. So people try and help, right? Or my family, for example, Charlotte, my daughter, helps and stuff like that. My wife, even though she gets rubbish pictures like that, and even though we're not together, right? Which is a long story, but that's just the way life is at the moment. So the point is, I don't know what the point is. Why did I bring all that up? See, that throws me off as soon as I mention personal things. Why did I mention that? Okay, see, it's totally thrown me off, that bit. KopTalk's a one-man thing. Right, so when it would be lovely for someone to come along and go, Dunk, I want to buy this, and they give me a big chunk of money, and I go, oh, that's great. I can pay this off, I can pay that off. Do you know what I mean? I can buy a new iMac and stuff for the website, which is straight away, that's my priority, is like the website. And that's amazing. But do you know what the best support is for me? I mean, like, I have the bills to pay and all that, but the best support would be another version of me, if that makes sense, right? That could say, I've done that on the website, I've done that. We've got things coming up on the website. We've got to change the forum script soon, literally within a month or so, right? And we have changes that are forced on it. How do I find the time to do all this stuff? People that have followed my website for years know that I've been trying to get a KopTalk book out for what seems like decades, and it's a long-running joke, And they'll say, hey, how's it going? And I'm like, it's not because I don't want to do it. I just I haven't got the time to do it. So the support aspect, it's the support, like help. It's not always financial. So you can put money into Liverpool Football Club, you could, or whatever, and that helps, but God, it's driving me mental. It's all driving me mental. The takeover stuff is driving me mental. I'm throwing myself all over the place. All I'm trying to say is, the money is not the answer. It's not necessary. A quick fix is not the answer, is what I'm trying to say. You deposit loads of money in my bank today. Brilliant. That's mint, right? I can relax. I can enjoy it all a bit more, right? But I need more than that. And that's what I'm trying to say with the football club. With Liverpool Football Club, we can inject the cash But it's got to work, hasn't it? Because it's only one go at it, because then you're going to have the same problems. You know, you can't just throw money at it. I don't know if I'm doing a very good job of explaining myself, but I know what I mean, which is all that matters, really. I know what I mean. Basically, if they invest money in that team, it's got to work. It's got to work. If they go, right, this is it, this is the one opportunity of buying into you, the football club, you know, we're going to buy into Liverpool Football Club, here's some money. You're basically handing over an amount of that money to the boss and saying, there's your money, you've got one go at it. That's what they're saying, there's one go at it, guys. So imagine if any of them transfers bombed. Then what? They can't go back because it'll be back to the same old FSG. Well, we can't do that. We're a self-sustaining club, which is very fine and all that. I mean, I don't get it. You know, like, speculate to accumulate and all that, right? People say, don't they? They'll say, you know, when people get into debt, they'll say, they're a bit patronising. They'll say, oh, well, you know, you shouldn't spend if you don't have it, right? I've been in debt in my life. I've been well off, you know, with the website, and I've been skint as well, especially in February. And it's so patronising when someone says, well, you can only, you know, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't borrow that to pay for that, you know, get that from Peter to pay Paul, rob Peter to pay Paul and all that. But when you've got to pay something, you know, as an individual, you can't sit there and go, well, you know, I had the money in for that, so I can't pay for that. The reality is I need to pay, I've got to find it from somewhere, and that's what I want to see when it comes to the football club. These John Henry and all that, look, they can put a bit of money in. It's alright saying they don't take any money out, but they'll take it out when they sell the club. You know, they'll get the money then. What I mean is, if we on a personal level can wheel and deal our way through life, because we have no choice to, why can't that apply in business? Because the other clubs seem to be doing alright. I don't even know where I was with this article. Speculation about bids from Saudi Arabia, but they've gone beyond that. Blah, blah, blah. It's reported that FSG might buy that could realise an additional $1 billion for Liverpool's owners, a good chunk of which would almost certainly be invested. Well, however, Redbird already owned Toulouse and a majority stake in AC Milan. Now, people keep saying, well, look what they've done with AC Milan, they just won a From what I understand, I don't follow this closely, to be honest with you, but I do believe that AC Milan won the title in May 2022, and Redbird purchased AC Milan after that title. I think you guys might know more about that than me. I don't really get involved with this kind of stuff. It's because it's topical at the moment. Redbird, they already own Toulouse and a majority stake in AC Milan. Oh yeah, and I'm sure someone said, and I need to look at this myself, I don't know, that's Redbird have been investigated to do with this. So I'm sure if you go on Google today and put Redbird AC Milan investigation or something, just because it's an investigation doesn't mean they've done anything wrong. You know, we've seen there's news coming out today with Man City, where they have apparently allegedly done something wrong. I don't know. I'm not educated on this, guys, so I don't really like reading about finances. I'm a football fan. I want to talk about the football. So Redbird is not commenting on whether it wants more of Liverpool's ownership group, but is not believed to be actively thinking about it either. Wait, what? They're not actively thinking about it either. So they're not thinking about buying a part of Liverpool Football Club. Yet at the weekend we were told they were by somebody else. I just think that's common sense. Of course they're going to think about it. Should we do a bit more with this one? Is it time then for English football's two biggest clubs to knock 10% off their asking prices, get the photographer back in and order some cheese and wine for the open house? That's the article that we've been sniffing around all morning talking about. It's a mess. That's it. So, we know what James Pearce has wrote today, and we know what James Pearce hasn't wrote today. I think the suggestion that nobody wants Liverpool Football Club, I don't care about what's happening at Manchester United, to be honest with you. I do have respect for that club, but at the same time, I think we have to keep an eye on what happens with them. But you know what? This is something that I've seen, right, or understand or feel maybe. Okay, is when you look at the UAE, when they have a long-running interest in Liverpool Football Club. When I went out there and I went to Dubai and all that around that time, if you remember, I'm sure I made some videos at the time. Or maybe I didn't. I kind of remember filming some stuff. It's somewhere that I don't know where it is. I wonder if it's on here. It must be on here. I'll have a little dig into it. But I know, like Dubai and places like that, it's not somewhere you want to be going up to buildings and filming stuff and all that. You know, like, I don't know. Maybe that's paranoia. I don't know. But I don't remember making a great deal of content out there. But I did go out to Dubai, and the feeling I got from meeting the Arabs and all that, and these people out there, they're mints. They absolutely love Liverpool Football Club. And I didn't just meet your ordinary Joes like me and you. You know, I met important people, business people. You know, maybe only millionaires. But the passion they had for our club, it seemed like a big deal if they'd have bought our club at the time. And obviously, you know, I was very close to the L4 consortium that were trying to buy Liverpool Football Club at the time. So I had the inside track on all that was going on, and it was so exciting. And I always felt like to those people that tried to buy Liverpool Football Club, I felt like to them it was Liverpool or nothing. Is that not what you want to buy Liverpool Football Club, guys? You know, all these like supporters groups up in the air, well, we don't want them buying us, you know, because they've got no. I don't care if Americans want to buy Liverpool Football Club if it's Liverpool or nothing and they love football, soccer. Do you know what I mean? They probably don't, but you know what I'm saying? To me, I don't care where they're from, right? Because just because you're from a country that's maybe got a government that's a bit, you know, wayward with the thinking, you know, whatever, they don't think like us or whatever, doesn't mean the people in those countries condone or support the behaviour of their governments. Look at us, look at the American government over the years and what they've done, and the British government as well, the English government. Do you know what I mean? We're not immune. And there's plenty, you know, when they were dropping bombs in certain parts of the world on innocent people, and I aren't no, you know, tree-hugging, flip-flop wearing, you know, candle-burning lefty loony or something like that, guys. But I'm a human being, you know what I mean? I don't want to see any suffering in the world, you know? But when they were dropping bombs on them countries and that, and for whatever reasons, there for other people to discuss, all the people in America and all the people in England weren't going around going, yeah, this is great, this, because we believe what our governments do all the time. Knock that nonsense off. These supporters groups get right on my... Do you know what I mean? No, them people in Dubai were desperate to buy Liverpool Football Club. Desperate, but it was resisted, and we know why it was resisted. I'm spitting now. This is where I want to like speak my mind, but I can't because YouTube will tell me off. It was resisted. David Moyes didn't want to sell in that direction. Rick Parry, you know, he was allegedly doing everything in his power to block Mike Jeffries with the L4 consortium and everything. It was just a load of nonsense. Typical Liverpool Football Club, you know. And now, right, Newcastle, we've got Newcastle United. You know, come on, guys. It's Newcastle United, it ain't Liverpool. But they're great fans. Newcastle deserve that investment more than anything. And we can't nobody's interested in us. I've never heard anything so nonsensical in my life. It's ridiculous. It's raining. Come on. All right. Don't be like that. I didn't know it was raining. It's just doing it. You start and all. Imagine having an owner or owners that went, it's Liverpool Football Club or nothing for us. We love football. We love that team. We remember that team, the 70s, the 80s. That's where we've got that affiliation. It's amazing, man. That'd be amazing. You know, so give these people in Qatar a chance, you know. Give these people in Saudi Arabia a chance. Bahrain, wherever. Give them a chance. Just give them a chance. John Henry, FSG, please leave. I don't hate you, just go. That's all I want is a chance. Isn't that what you want, guys? I don't want people that are involved with Crystal Palace going, oh, should we go to Liverpool now? Or should we go to Manchester United? Who should we do? Like it's a big game. This is our art. I want to see another David Moyes in there with a red scarf going, yeah, it's Liverpool. Come on. Coffee's gone cold.